Here are the two Corvettes side by side here. The is an example of what Corvettes have always been. Pretty good example. Big front engine, long front car, not much in the back. And the new one, big back engine, not much car in the front. So if you look at the previous generation Corvettes back in the 1950s, they decided to put a V8 engine in the front, and was a way it was done for that many years, very successful. We were all buying these cars. Problem with that is it's hard to get the power to the ground when you start getting over 300 horsepower, so you would hit the gas to accelerate from a stop and your tires would spin. So now that we're getting up to the 500 horsepower range, put the engine in the back, they've got 2/3 of the weight on the rear of the car. You hit the gas from a stop and you just go. You don't spin the tires at all with all this modern computer controls of the tires and all transmission, engine output and all that. So you can't see the engine in this one because it's a convertible, which doesn't bother me because I'm more interested in the convertible part of it. And I like that the back of the car, the way it was made with the vertical rear window, that rolls up and down so that you can hear the engine better. And it's more like the old Corvettes that I always fell in love with from the 1960s. And with the previous generation car, you had a really big hatchback area where my wife puts all her tennis gear and everything else, and Jay Leno jokes that you can take it to Home Depot and come home with some lumber and all that. You don't have that with the new cars, and you don't have that with a mid-engine car in general. But the way the thing drives is so much better. It's just, you're sitting in the middle of the car, and when you corner, you're just going around the corners. It really feels like a sports car, whereas the old car, you felt like you were sitting over the rear wheels. Interior is so much better than they used to be. They're really trying to step up the quality of the car. The dash component is actually made in France, where they stitch up the leather and everything. And then I don't know about the rest of the interior where it comes from, but it's much nicer than what you're used to with a Corvette. So really super happy with the car in general. Typical of what you've always thought about with a Corvette, big V8 engine in the front. And of course it's a lot of fun, but as I say, now it kind of feels like a muscle car. You've got a heat extractor up front here. These cars would get pretty hot, obviously, and some of them have superchargers. This one does not. It's just the base model with 465 horsepower. So the heat comes off the radiator up through this vent here, and that's why you've got these vents up here, just heat coming through the radiator to help so that it doesn't go in the engine compartment. There's a little quick review. The 2020 Corvette has evolved in what I think is really now a sports car, and I've learned now that all the Corvettes I've been driving in the past were just muscle cars. So that's the way I see it.